Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting video. In today's chess video, I'm going to show you a brilliant tactical game played between v.kahn from France and a black player, that is PS. Okay, I do not pronounce him correctly, but you can see him on the screen. I have mentioned over there. Okay, white was v.kahn from France and black player was from country Estonia. Estonia somewhat. Okay, let's leave that and focus on the game. That is, v.kahn was white and e begins with the move pawn to d4 and knight to f6, c4 and pawn to e6, knight to f3, pawn to d5, bishop to g5, bishop b4 check, knight to c3, pawn captures on c4 and pawn to e4, advancing the pawn, and you have a threat as well to play pawn to e5 in the next move. So c5, bishop into c4 was played in the game. Let me go back. Level discuss like pawn to e5, then you go, black will go pawn captures on d4, then queen a4 check, and with a threat to take on b4, knight to c6, supporting the bishop as well as avoiding the check. So white castled, and there is a sum of topsy-turvy in this position, and both players has a mutually equal chances to play. Let us go back to the game, which after the move like pawn to c5, white went to play bishop captures on c4. So pawn captures pawn on d4 was played in the game. Then knight captures pawn and queen to e5, double attack on the c3 knight. So bishop captures on f6 and g captures on f6, played in the game. So let me go back. After the move bishop captures on f6, let us try like bishop captures on c3. Let us see this variation. So bishop captures on c3 check, b captures on c3, queen captures on c3. So now we cannot move your king like king to e2 or something else. So king f1, queen captures on c4 check, king g1, and the dark square white bishop is untouchable because you have a threat of rook c1 and a rook c8. So if we move, let us go further ahead. Bishop b7, rook c1, queen captures on a2, and knight to e6, a brilliant move to finish off the game. So if we move like queen captures on e6, then rook c8 check, bishop captures on c8, queen d8 is a brilliant checkmate. Let me go back. If pawn takes the knight, then same repeats. Rook c8 check, bishop captures, queen d8 check, king f7, and queen to e7 check, king g6, queen into g7 check, king h5, queen g5 checkmate, or g4 checkmate. So let me go back to the game. Well, let us see this variation as well. Instead of the move bishop to d7, why not knight d7? So rook c1 again. Now you should not, like black should not capture the pawn on a2, play queen a6. So here you go black, white goes bishop g7 check, bishop into g7, rook to g8, bishop to h6. And this is somewhat like, yeah, maybe a slightly advantage for white in the game. So well, like after the move rook c1, if queen captures on a2, then knight b5 is simply a winning move with some advantages for white. So now let me go back to the game now. Okay, after the move bishop captures on f6, black took g captures on f6. So white castled in the game. So bishop to g7, sorry, d7, and rook to c1, knight c6, knight to b3, well yeah, and queen to b6. Well happened in the game, but after the move like knight c6, why not knight db5? Well, you have knight to e5 and bishop to e2. The bishop was attacked, so bishop came back to e2, rook to d8, and knight d6 check. Bishop captures, queen captures, and bishop c6 would lead to a queen exchange with the move queen to a3. And this position, like actually you can say like black has saved himself, but knight db5 would not help white to gain some advantage in the game. So in the game, white went knight b3. After the move like knight c6 by black, white went knight to b3. So queen to b6 happened in the game. Queen to e2, rook c8, a mistake in the game. Well, like bishop captures on c3 would be a option for black. Rook captures on c3, knight to e5, rook to rook fd1, and that's it. Like white is extremely slightly advantage as an advantage in the game, but this position is playable. But rook to c8 would be a very big mistake in the game. Rook to c8 was played in the game, so bishop b5, rook to d8, so rook fd1, threatening to play like rook to d3, bishop e7, bishop went back, knight a4, sorry, queen c7, and here knight a c5, bishop captures on c5, knight captures on c5, and bishop to c8. So rook were swapped up, rook takes on d8, king takes on d8, and queen to c4. Well, king to e7, and here white played knight b7, knight captures on b7, bishop captures on b7, and bishop captures on c6, and here black played rook to c8, again a mistake in the game, you can say. Well, already black has lost, so no problem, rook c8 would be even worse for black. So rook c8, queen b4, black resigned the game in this position on move number 23. Well, if I'm like queen to d6, then queen captures on b7 is a material advantage for white. Well, instead of the move rook to c8, after the move like bishop captures on c6, instead of the move rook c8, black could have played bishop captures on c6, queen captures on c6, queen captures, queens were swapped, and rook captures on c6, and rook to d8, threatening to play rook d1 checkmate with the advantage of back rank weakness, but rook c7 check, king to f8, and you go g3, and this is like rook d2, king to g2. Well, captures hand. You need technical skill to win this, and white can easily deploy a win against black. So after the move, like wait a minute. So if we go back after the move, like bishop captures, rook c8, queen b4 check, and black resigned the game. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, then please do give this some thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel, and I will meet you in another video. Till then, take care and bye bye.